Hey guys, back at it again. This is well, what you don't know is at one point we made a video for the second or volume two that was never seen because yeah, complications. Uh, but I have with me Austin. He was on previously for the Adam Sandler or Happy Gilmore 2. I don't know where I was going with that, but Happy Gilmore 2. Uh,
All right, it was Adam Sandler.
yeah. I don't think you've been on since then, right?
I know the
Oh no, no.
monster
Yeah, yes. Yep,
CJ.
the tier ranking. That's right. But how to get him back on here? He's a huge fan of Stranger Things. Uh, First of all, how are you feeling? And how are you sad it's wrapped up? What are your thoughts?
It's a bittersweet feeling. How I'm feeling. Other than getting over being sick, so I'm on the right side of that, thankfully. So I apologize if I am like super stuffy and congested, but otherwise I'm feeling good, and I it's a bittersweet ending, but I think it's. I guess I don't want to bury the lead too much, but overall, I'd say more positive than negative.
Uh, did you watch Stranger Things from the beginning, or where'd you jump in
Yes.
at?
So it's kind of funny. Like, I've only ever watched through everything once. Like, I've only ever watched season one once, season two once, season three once, so on and so forth. I don't think I didn't watch Stranger Things. I didn't start watching it until I think after season three ended. Cause I remember like being like everyone was just so crazy about it, and I'm kind of weird about like starting shows sometimes if it's like too popular. It's like everyone's talking about it. It's like I don't feel like being in the craze, and then eventually I'm like, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm like, okay, I get it. This is pretty good, and yeah, I ended up watching the first three seasons, and then didn't watch the fourth season until that came out, and then so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to like going back one of these days and just rewatching the whole series again, and maybe it'll give me another perspective of the show.
Yeah, I mean, so in our friend group, Austin, there's a couple others, but Austin's one of them that definitely loves the show. I like the show. I wouldn't say I love it. It's not my like top end, but I do really enjoy a lot of the characters. I think I've said that on the because I did have a previous non-spoiler of the first volume. There was supposed to be also a non-spoiler of that. Actually, when we shot it, it was for volume one. I don't know why I said volume two, but
Yeah, I'll just kind of
um,
let that go.
yeah. So I didn't have enough time to do anything for volume two because it was so quick and working on all the different videos I was working on during that time. But we had to get to volume three. This is the spoiler review for volume three. We're really the last episode, if we're gonna say, but yeah, Stranger Things episode 8, last episode. Let's go. But yes, so just quickly, we're going to talk about our quick thoughts of the entire season, and then we'll get into the season finale. Is what we're really talking about here, but or the last episode. But quickly, what I've said to a couple of my friends, and even Austin, the very little that we got to talk about this, because most of all, we don't know a ton of each other's thoughts, but I said solid way to end it, but overall a messy season. I definitely thought through most of this season, it definitely felt rushed. Often, it didn't feel like we got to live in many scenes. It felt like the pacing was off at times. I thought there was a lot of scenes where we'd be doing a lot of exposition or we'd be talking about a plan, and someone in the group all of a sudden's like got a eureka moment, and it's like, oh, I got it, and that happens like 100 times in one season, and it's very aggravating after the 100th time. Um, I it and it happens quite often. I just don't think some of the writing is as at its best in this season. I feel like it sucks because it feels like we needed more time, but they're just obviously actors wanting to move on. Just I'm sure there's other nightmares to even get to this season. So like I definitely get it, and the rushing part's tough. There's also a lot of other storylines that we're going to get into that's more the finale type stuff, but a lot of the Vecna stuff I didn't love nearly as much as I loved in season four. Um, some of the acting at times, even though I didn't have as big of an issue as some people, there was definitely moments where I was like, wow, that's not great. I guess for me, for Stranger Things, I never went into a Stranger Things season thinking that, well, first and foremost, we were usually working with a lot of kids. So when they were younger, so like the acting part never really like it was nothing something I really honed in on. But I will say this season it stood out a bit more with a lot of these actors being older. There was definitely moments where I was like, not great. But I still think the some of the better actors were great when they needed to be. I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, I'll let Austin go, but just like I thought the ending, which we'll get to and we'll explain more in depth, and we will be getting more spoiler heavy here soon. I thought the ending was solid, safe, but solid. But for the season in its entirety, writing not the best, felt rushed. Um, yeah, there's also some character stuff that I didn't love as well. But Austin, what were your thoughts as a season in its entirety?
I mean, I'll say before it even came out, seeing like how long the episodes were going to be, or I guess originally going to be, I was like, oh my god, this is like too much overkill. And now that I look back, I'm thinking, damn, they actually probably could have used more time, or at least maybe just like more episodes, space things out a little more, because there definitely felt like there was a lot left off the table. I know there's been debate of how many deleted scenes there are, and I guess apparently Duffer Brothers have said like this is everything in its entirety, and if that's true, I mean, well, first things first, congratulations, Linda Hamilton, on making the easiest money you've ever made in your career because you didn't have to do anything. She literally just showed up on camera, and that's all she had to do. But I guess we'll get more into that later. Overall, I probably liked the season more than you did, Jamie. But I'm kind of like with you beat for beat on everything. Like, there's definitely some things that were definitely rushed. Some of the acting wasn't as good as you'd want it to be, but I also thought there were a lot of really good performances, and especially in the final episode. I really liked the finale. I'll say I actually enjoyed the second half of the finale more than the first half. And yeah, some of that stuff. Again, a lot of stuff was rushed. It felt like, and
Yeah,
even in the finale, that's evident.
yeah. Which we're gonna go into now. We're not gonna waste any time. That's the main reason we're here. So, spoilers everywhere. This is the last episode. I mean, come on now. If you didn't expect this, I don't tell you.
At this point, it's on you guys.
Yeah, like, and also if you're watching this and you haven't watched the finale, I don't know what to tell you right then and there. Also, that's not something I would do.
But hey, more power to you. Who are we
Yeah.
to judge?
But anyways, yes. So it ends. So episode seven ends with them like going through the to the upside down. Um, and obviously they concoct this crazy plan, as like they do almost every episode. But yes, but so we get to so they're kind of divided. We have a lot of the members. I think well, we got Mike, Will, Dustin, Steve, Jonathan, Nancy, Robin,
Joyce.
Joyce. They are all going up this big ass ladder, or not ladder. What's
Did
the
you say
tower?
Lucas?
Lucas, yes.
Okay.
There's a lot on the tower.
Yeah, I
Climbing
think
the
there's
big
like
ass.
12. I think there's like 12 of them total, if I'm not mistaken.
There we go. The big, really big tower, so they can eventually get to the upside down. While you have Levin and what's the other one?
11, Callie, Hopper, and
Callie,
Murray.
Hopper, and Murray. Yes. While they're trying, well, Levin's trying to get into Vecna's mind so they can help the kids. Uh, and yes, so let's focus on the tower stuff first. Uh, I thought I thought there were some good moments on like when they're climbing the tower, especially between some of the characters. I
Yeah.
really liked the stuff with Mike and Will. I'm glad they. So in episode 7, I'm glad they didn't have like when everybody was like hugging, going up to hug Will. I was a little nervous that they would have had Mike like be last, and it would be like an awkward moment, and they
Yeah.
didn't do that, which I was happy with.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not going to touch too much on the Will stuff. I can see why some would like that moment, and some would feel like it is a bit out of place, maybe. I thought it was well done, but I it, considering the magnitude, I don't know that it made a ton of sense. Is all I'll say.
The more time has passed, the more I feel like I understand why he did it in front of everybody because
Yes,
just the urgency of the moment. He didn't want, that to be used against him by Vecna. He said, "All right, I'm just going to get it out in the air," and I think it makes sense. And personally, I thought the moment was awesome. And
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I thought that I thought that was
I thought it was well done. I just considering like the world is ending. I don't know.
yeah,
I get it. I get it,
yeah.
but I could see both sides.
Hmm.
But anyways, but we do have a really good moment with Mike and Will as Mike is essentially, saying is reassuring that it's all right, but also saying it's kind of on him for not like realizing how much pain Will was in during that time period. I thought it was there's a lot of great one on ones. I mean, we also get Dustin and Steve, I believe, also on the tower. That is that on the tower? Or is that on?
I don't remember Dustin Steve moment on the town.
Oh no! I'm sorry. We get a Steve and Jonathan moment once we're already in
Yeah,
the upside down.
yeah.
That I liked a lot. But either of those moments stand out to you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I will say the line at the end where Will's like friends and Mike's like no best friends. I'm like, all right, that was a little corny, but otherwise, I like that moment overall. Steve and Jonathan, I gotta give it to Jonathan. He did a really good job of raising his stock in this final season. Because
Yeah,
otherwise he was
agreed.
the character that I think you and I both were just not big on. I definitely think season 5, Jonathan, the character of Jonathan was, you know, on the rise. I'd say better late than never, right? um,
True.
but yeah, I really enjoyed Jonathan and Steve. I guess we need to talk about what led to that before was Steve's near death and was saved by Jonathan on the tower.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, before we even got to that point, because that's what led Steve to talk to him. Yeah, imagine like going out like that.
I know
Just
like
falling off the tower.
the thing is like I don't know if you know this, but the Duffer Brothers were like teasing the hell out of Steve dying, and I noticed like in one of the teasers that they had like I remember like I think it was on Jimmy Fallon. They had like a bunch of like figurines of like the Stranger Things characters, and they just had Steve like hanging off the edge of the desk and just him falling over eventually, and I'm like, oh, you guys are bastards. But I just had a feeling it was going to be a fake out. Like they almost got me. I almost thought like, oh my god, they're actually doing it because it looked like he fell too far for a moment, and
Yeah.
then seeing he was saved, it was like, okay, awesome. But seeing it was Jonathan who saved him, I think that was huge because Jonathan
Yeah,
being
it
not
was
the
a good
biggest fan.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll say it didn't take me long to figure out that nobody was really dying in this last episode.
yeah,
Outside of
and
um oh my god, I keep forgetting her name.
Callie or
Callie.
Collie.
Outside of Callie, like, and honestly, that's kind of cheating because like she's not a. I mean, she hasn't been in the show since season two, and they almost like reintroduced her just so we'd have some kind of an impactful death. Don't get me wrong, I love what they did with her. I love all that stuff. Even before we get to them, I mean, that's even later on when they're being chased by the military. But just like the whole stuff with her and Elle telling, Elle, pretty much we can't allow us to be captured again and to make more of us and repeating the cycle. Obviously, Hopper's totally against that, um, which I get coming from Hopper. I mean, 11 has kind of been his daughter in many ways. So, like, I definitely understand. And yeah, I mean, the stuff with I thought one of the better scenes, and I'm maybe skipping ahead a little bit, but that's fine. We're gonna go out of order somewhat. Is like when Vecna is messing with Hopper,
Yeah.
like, and then they got me actually when he shot the tank.
Oh yeah,
They got me. I
yeah.
was like, oh shit.
It got then the Steve death, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Yeah,
yeah, agreed. I was like, oh no, what's gonna go on here? Um, but yeah, I mean, Vecna was obviously doing that because Levin got into his mind, as well as they brought Max in there. Max is in a wheelchair, obviously. So she's kind of on the sidelines, which makes me a little sad for this last episode because
yeah,
I am a big Max fan and like she had a lot to do in this season, so I'm not too upset about it. But and she did help in this moment. I
yeah.
like the stuff with her and 11 because I feel like we got away from her and 11 quite a bit
Hmm.
over the last season or so. So I like that. And then also had Callie there. What are your thoughts up to this point as far as like them getting into his mind, being there, going through the different like his different dreams or his different moments in his life, I should say. What'd you think of all that stuff?
I mean, it's definitely like I almost wish we could have seen more. Now I know there was a when they went back to like him being like in high school. I know there was actually a play. Uh, I can't remember what they called the play. It's like Stranger Things, the something that takes place in the 50s, and yeah, it turns out Henry Creel was a classmate of Joyce, of Hopper, of uh the Wheelers when they were younger, the Sinclairs when they were younger. So there was really a lot of backstory there. Even Bob Newby was a classmate of
Yeah.
theirs. It's kind of almost seems a little too convenient, but
Yeah, there's
that
a lot of that.
yeah,
There's a lot of I think I talked to you about this, off screen before. Is like some of my favorite stuff from this season is the Max stuff, and I feel like a
hmm
lot of that stuff got really rushed because like when she was going through with Elle, I was like, wow, there's all this stuff that we could have like done stuff with, and we didn't get to do
yeah,
anything with, and we're just right now we're just going fast, going through it really quickly.
yeah.
and that was kind of unfortunate. I wish we would have got more with that stuff in general.
Yeah, like I mean, like when Max came back, like the bulk of it had to be with Lucas, like rightfully so. But it's like,
Yes.
but I do feel like we were robbed of that moment of like getting like a proper like welcome back between her and Eleven, and maybe she should have reacted to Hopper like when he's like welcome back. He's like, wait, I thought you died. Like, like the last time
Yeah.
she saw him, he freaking got exploded at the end of season 3. So that kind of was just forgotten there. But I
I mean,
digress there.
I do agree. I do love the Max and Lucas stuff, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Which
it's
yeah,
tough.
God give credit to Sadie Sink and Caleb McLaughlin. They both like their chemistry is just unmatched.
Yeah.
I'd argue.
Uh, but anyways, so they're doing that. We obviously have the guys on the towers. They're kind of like breaking through to the other side. No. What would they even call that portion? It's like a well, I know it's not the upside down anymore, but it's
Oh, it's the abyss. I
the
believe is
abyss.
what
That's right.
they referred it to.
Yeah, the abyss. I thought like once they get up there, and again, guys, I'm gonna jump around a bunch. I like just deal with it. I thought a lot of like the action and CGI stuff was pretty well done. Like for a TV series, I will say it felt like they were on a walk for like ever. I was like, are we ever getting there? And when they do get there, it's like it's halted. So like it was a really long walk, but um yeah, I it just made me think because I just felt like they were walking for freaking ever. Uh, did you like the way the abyss looks? Like, were you is that what you had in your head? I mean, I know you see the abyss in general, somewhat in other episodes, but this is like the full look at it.
I, I thought like for the show it was refreshing because we're kind of used to just like like the darkness of the upside down or just typical Hawkins. I thought the Abyss was very refreshing and like kind of a fresh breath of air for the eyes, if that even makes sense. But I guess kind of like how like season 4, like seeing like oh, they're in California, they're up in Russia and Alaska, like that was kind of refreshing to see too. Just like kind of different settings throughout Stranger Things aside from just Hawkins or the Upside Down.
I did like go back a little bit when the tower is starting to get closed in on, and
Yeah,
like Max and Elle just saved them in the nick of time. That was a cool moment. Even though I will say which we'll get to as we're going through this, but this season almost made me feel like Vecna didn't even put them through that much stuff as
yeah,
some other
I
villains,
I would agree.
which
I
sucks. But
like Vecna definitely felt a lot less intimidating this season than in season 4, which is kind of crazy to say, especially like the end of episode 4, like
yeah,
where he's just like
he has like
he
his
just had
Darth
that
Vader
Darth Vader
move.
entrance and just absolutely tearing everybody up, and like and he even has like a new like more like I guess indestructible look, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Despite that, like he just did not feel quite as scary as he did in season 4.
No, I thought that was like
And that's
really
and that's
unfortunate.
nothing and that's nothing against Jamie Campbell Bower, who I thought killed it once again, especially in the cave scene. I thought.
So yes, they get him out, and then as we kind of already talked about the whole Hopper shooting the bullet thing, which then wasn't actually a bullet because he was in his mind to try to mess with them so he could so Vecna could go get the kids again. Uh, Hopper shoots it. Elle comes out. Elle disappears from his mind, as well as Callie, and then and Max as well, obviously because she's only there because of 11. So then Holly has to become Molly Holly. Uh, Holly has to become the leader, which I thought was really cool. I thought that was really cool for her character. I wouldn't say she's one of my favorite characters, but I thought it was cool for her character. I will say, damn it, Derek, can you keep the F up? This guy's
Which
gonna get everybody freaking killed.
I've seen some people debate, like, if Max is able to like walk and everything in Vecna's mind, why can't Derek be faster? But I guess that's I guess
That's
hey,
a good point.
just don't think too much, people. Don't think too much. Um,
Hey, but also like he's a kid, so he might not really
yeah,
think about it
yeah.
like that.
There's mentals to it as well, I guess. But I mean, Derek's as delightful as ever in this one.
He
Uh,
does have a great line.
yeah.
You want to say it?
Suck my fat one.
That was a great line. That was a legitimately funny line. And even though like some of this season throughout, I thought some of the comedy wasn't the best. That line was definitely very. It was impactful and well done and fit the moment. Uh, yeah, and yeah. So they get in the cave, and this eventually Vecna has to face his own demons. I guess you could say uh, when he has to go through the cave just to get to them. But meanwhile, you also have the stuff going on. Is that exactly? I can't remember the exact, but is that exactly when the military shows up? Are they kind of in the same?
Kind of around that time, yeah. So, well, first the military, like very beginning of the episode, the military quickly finds Mr. Clark and Erica, who were up in the church
Oh yeah,
tower, who they kind of like hacked into the base to get the door open and kind of set them up to lead them into the upside down. Military quickly finds them. They see the squawk van, which leads them to go into the squawk. Um, where Max and Vicky are. Vicky's kind of just watching over Max before Max goes into Vecna's mind with Elle, Kali, which that kind of faked me out for a second because I'm like, oh crap, did Vecna freaking get her again? But then I realized, oh, it's Elle. Okay, that's a relief. Yeah, so eventually the military shows up at the squawk. Vicky's able to take Max's, I guess, unconscious body, or I guess however you want to call it, kind of get them hiding in that like hidey hole, whatever you want to call it. Military can't find them, but then when like Max and 11 are all taken out of Vecna's mind, Max is kind of awoken, and she like quickly kind of like takes that gasp of air, and that's when Dr. K discovers where they're at.
dude, f the military in this damn show.
Yeah, and
I mean, if they can't like, they consistently just freaking
they're there just to piss you
wrong
off,
times.
pretty much. Um, and then in the midst of that, Dr. K finds a whiteboard that has the entire plan, and that's where the military goes into the upside down and tracks down 11 and Callie,
Well,
as
that
well
that
as
was a separate unit. Like the
oh, you're right, you're right,
yeah, that was a
you're
separate
right.
unit.
My bad.
Um,
With that guy who looks like he's deforming into something, but I mean, his face
something.
was pretty messed up. I mean,
No,
it was
yeah,
like
for
it was
sure.
turning yellow by the end. I'm like, is this guy gonna turn into a creature of the upside down here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I just like Linda Hamilton this season.
There was so much left off from her. Like, I felt like she could have been so much more, but instead, I feel like they just kind of gave her a Dr. Brenner wig and said, "Okay, you're gonna be Dr. Brenner, but female and a lot more militant." Like, I felt like they just left a lot off the table with her. Like I felt like we got a little something in episode 7 where she snapped on the one dude, but like I just felt like we didn't really get anything with her, and even like when we get to the I guess the climax of the episode, like still nothing. Like she must have collected just the easiest paycheck in the world. I'm convinced at this point, and good on her. But like her character was there just to exist almost. That's how I felt.
I guess I liked her a bit more from a sense I just like couldn't stand her character, but
Yeah,
because it's such that character that like mind cannot be changed. Like
yeah,
they're so one-sided. There's no way anybody can convince like there's nobody that could way anybody could convince her that Elle is actually doing good.
yeah. Like
um
it's like we never even got like an explanation or anything out of her. Like I felt like we never got anything like that out of her. Like maybe episode
yeah,
4, I
I
guess
think
you
she
could
was
say, but
supposed to be one note.
yeah,
I think she's supposed to be that old school 80s one note
hmm
villain. I don't think it was meant for her to be super deep. Uh, that was just kind of my thought on it.
I mean, just
Uh,
got a big time '80s actress to play the role, pretty
yeah,
much.
exactly. I did want to say before we get to Callie's death, uh, I thought my favorite conversation in the whole, it might be the whole show, not just this season, is when Hopper is. I don't have the exact quote in front of me. I was having a hard time finding it, but when Hopper's telling Elle that he basically wants her to be able to raise her own kid and have that chance, that was one of those beautiful, well done, uh, well written moments. I love that moment. It's just it's difficult. That the only problem with the ending of this episode, which we'll get to, is I just felt like it ruined that moment just a little bit,
Yeah.
and which is unfortunate, um, because I thought that moment was beautiful. One of my favorite moments in the whole show, honestly. Like I was totally invested.
If anything, I think that was what convinced Callie of kind of convinced Callie of like changing her
Yeah,
outlook on
agreed.
the final plan of her and 11. So, but yeah, I thought that was beautifully done, and I thought I thought kind of like Hopper and 11 was like I thought they were all right this season, but I just felt like it was a lot of stuff we've seen before. Um, yeah, I thought finale they absolutely killed it, and I mean I thought almost everybody really killed it here,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was absolutely wonderful moment between those characters.
yeah, yeah. And they have another moment as far as like
Mm-hmm.
believing in L, which I obviously really liked. But yeah, to convince Callie was a great moment. Even if if L is alive or not, um, which also semi ruins it. But also on top of that, uh, she's gonna live in isolation. So to me, that's still I don't know. I just we'll get to it. We'll get
Yeah,
to it.
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I have a lot of thoughts. Anyways, we are going to skip around though because can't talk about every little moment. Let's just go ahead and get to Vecna. So we find out what's in the briefcase of that guy that he freaking decimates. Uh, Holy crap! Have I don't want to say I was disappointed by what was in the briefcase. More so, like, okay, really? we kind of already we knew this. I don't. Was this supposed to be some revelation? I don't know what your thoughts with that. Obviously, he finds like what do you call that?
That like that's that stone where it has all
Yeah,
the, I guess, dark matter
yeah,
they
dark
call it.
matter. That's yes, yeah, yeah. What did you think of that? Because I just felt like I don't know,
I mean, it
it
was,
was played up way bigger than it
yeah.
actually turned out to be.
That might have even been part of the like play. So like, yeah, I guess you'd say it was predictable. Oh heck, I mean, even when they even back in what episode 6, Escape from Camazotz, like when they were I think when they were leaving, like, and Holly like took a look back, it's like the briefcase opening. I think you saw some of that like black smoke stuff like flying in the air. So
Hmm.
I mean, you kind of, I feel like you pretty much knew where it was going.
Well, not even that, but you knew he was being controlled. That was
Yeah.
already determined previously. Like that's why I was like, okay, like we kind of knew this, but all right, I guess. I just was kind of let down. I don't know what I was expecting to be in that briefcase, but I will say this. I gotta get your thoughts on this. I am so happy because there's a moment with Vecna where Will tries to basically convince him
Yeah.
like he was being used this whole time and he's not actually bad. Dude, if they would have turned Vecna good here, I would have really really been not happy.
No,
I mean,
it was definitely the right call to keep. Yeah, they were. I guess for wrestling fans, they were teasing the Vecna face turn. But I'm definitely glad Henry said no, and I almost feel like it wasn't out of. I know he said that like they are one and everything, but I almost wonder if it's more out of denial, out of the fact that Henry cannot live with the fact that he killed all these people, like almost as if he's just like in complete denial, like no, like there's a purpose for this, there's a reason for this, like he doesn't want to live with being in the wrong of what he did, and which I mean, just like, it's just a lot of depth with that character. Like I thought it was the right move, and I thought Jamie Campbell Bower, like this scene was just
no,
killing
he's
it.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
believed every second. And I'm just so glad, so glad they didn't turn him good because a lot of movies and TV shows have done that over the
yeah,
years,
yeah,
and it always. I don't want to say it never works because there are definitely moments it does work, but it is a tough thing to convince
yeah,
the the viewers that hey, this guy that's done all this evil shit, he's good now.
yeah, yeah. Hey, sorry about Eddie and stuff. Yeah. Oh, water under the bridge, buddy.
And that's happened before. Sometimes it works, like a character like Spike. If there's any Buffy fans out there, Spike was this evil vampire, and then eventually he and he did a lot of messed up things. He eventually turned into um, a good guy essentially, and but it worked within that show. It doesn't always. There's a lot of moments where in other shows and other movies it does not work, and it feels like a cop out. But in this case, they did the right thing.
The only way it would have worked is if he like sacrificed himself, like killed the Mind Flayer, but with himself as well, like a Doc Ock Spider-Man 2 sort of way. That I feel that would have been the only way. And even then, I feel like the option they went with was definitely the better option.
Well, even then, the Mind Flayer didn't even seem that freaking powerful to begin with.
No,
So
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's
if they
talk
would
about that.
if they would have got Vecna on their sides, it really would have been a piece of cake. Yeah, no, I do want to really quick. I just want to point out one little thing, and then we'll get to that. Uh, the flare gun moment where Nancy gives Mike a flare gun, he doesn't realize. I thought that was hilarious.
It's
It
great.
was the most sibling moment ever. Like I definitely dug that moment. which is nice to have moments like that when you're.
Granted, the flare gun did some damage,
Yeah,
though.
true. But anyways, yes, the mind flare looks awesome. I want to say
Yes,
that looked
yeah,
awesome. I was like, hell yeah, this is what we were here for. And then somehow the mind flare is this big dumb giant fucking thing that just. I thought the mind flare should be smart. I like every decision it made was like as if it was an animal that didn't have any like way of making um logical decisions. Like I just yeah, I that was a big letdown for me. It was way too easy to defeat the Mind Flayer, and I mean, it was too easy to defeat Vecna.
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe it was just ultimately the numbers game. You could argue that, but even then, I don't want to say it was like anticlimactic, but like it just like it happened all too fast.
Yeah,
And like I knew like and like I saw like there's an hour left of the episode. And granted, I knew like there was supposed to be like a long epilogue, but still, and we still need to see the full consequences of the military at that point. Which I mean, we'll get into that too. But
yeah.
yeah, it
Yay,
definitely
we got through it. We got through it.
yeah. It just felt it ultimately felt all too easy. Like they had a very smart plan, and like there was really only like one like between that there was only like I guess two moments where it seemed like there could have been a death with like Nancy when she was the decoy and when Dustin fell over and the mind flayer's arm was like going down, but Lucas was able to save him in time. Like those were like the only two moments where it felt like there was really any true danger, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the problem is at this point, like I told you, the beginning of the episode, I knew nobody was dying of real significance, which
Yeah,
I've been very big on wanting one or maybe two of the main characters to die. I just felt like it would up the stakes, but I also felt
yeah.
like that should have happened near the beginning of the season, not the end of the season.
Hell,
Uh,
I was waiting for I was surprised like even Murray made it out. Like I thought for sure Murray was gonna die, and he made it out. He had that awesome moment of throwing the grenade and blowing
yeah,
up the helicopter.
because like,
But
what if you
yeah,
start the new season and you just have Vecna? I don't know. I'm trying to like you just had him kill one of the main characters like right off in the beginning. Like he just killed I guess it doesn't really matter who, but and you have the characters deal with that and them have to like come together and like I know they're already together because of the whole military bubble and everything, but like I just feel like there would have been so much more impact
it
and
would have
like
raised the stakes for
raise
sure.
the stakes. Like everybody would have felt more determined. I know they're already determined because they're trying to save the world, but like it just would have added something to it that I just felt was missing. But anyways, yeah. So Vecna ends up getting killed by L. I'm not a fan of any of that stuff really. Not I'm okay with L killing Vecna eventually, but like it was just too easy. I mean, it was just too easy at the end of the day.
Technical. I mean, the final blow went to Joyce.
Yeah,
That which that
but
that was an awesome moment.
no, great moment, but
I love that.
L really killed him.
Yeah,
L
yeah.
Joyce
Ultimately,
just did a
yeah.
finishing off, but yeah, no. But that's my point though. Like yes, that moment with Joyce was awesome, and like when they did all the flashbacks and everything. But imagine if a major character died, like that flashback would have been even heavier. And but this show just didn't have. I don't want to say the Duffer Brothers didn't have. I don't want to use what I'm trying to use, but didn't have the bravery or whatever. Like, just didn't have it in them to make that call. You could say that's fair or not fair, but I just feel like you should have. Sometimes you got to make the hard calls. I don't know who it should have been. You could argue maybe Steve or Robin. I don't know that you do any of like the main main. Like you can't. I don't think you can kill Dustin. He's too important to what's. I don't think you kill Mike or Elle like in the beginning of the season, um, or even Max because all the shit she's been through. But like somebody like a Steve or a Robin, even though it would have sucked in the moment, it would have carried more weight throughout the show, in my opinion. But anyways, so we get through that great Joyce moment as we mentioned, but we're gonna talk about another spot that I am like, what the hell? They're all getting the hell out of the Upside Down as this thing's about to be done with, and they're all happy and shit, and I'm like, hey,
You guys do
it's not
realize
over.
you guys do realize you're leaving the military complex, right?
Yeah, you're not just magically teleporting somewhere. I was like, we're a little too happy in this moment. We need to calm down a little bit, maybe devise a plan. Which I guess, in theory, Al already had a plan, but uh, we didn't know that at the time. But the rest of them didn't have a fucking plan. So
Yeah, it's definitely I mean, it was definitely like a fun moment. I guess it was just I guess it was there for that like false sense of security as well. But I guess it was predictable that military was going to be showing up. But then I guess they needed to give that like celebration moment of hey, we got the big bad. It's done. We're gonna blow this joint up. No more upside down. No more Demogorgons. No more Vecna. No more Mind Flayer. It's all done. We're good. We're home free. Forgetting about the military, but we get the gist. I gotta say, what warmed my heart. A lot of people were pointing out when Derek randomly just waved at Mike. Remember, Derek said that him and Mike are best friends, so I guess that was that. But yeah, seeing all the celebration, it was still a heartwarming moment. But if you really knew what was about to happen, you knew it was not going to be like that for very long. Yeah, you had Steve and Robin driving the big truck out of there, and with all the passengers, and then you had Murray and Hopper sharing some words between them. And I think that was ultimately the last we really saw of Murray at that point. For the rest of the episode, it was just him and Hopper talking before them.
yeah, we have the military part. Obviously, L is in the Upside Down, about to be taken with it. Obviously, we know that in fact not her, but uh, one of a great moment as far as seeing all the characters and their emotions and like knowing Elle is about to sacrifice. Uh, but also one of the worst acting moments in this season. In the same sense, Mike's reaction was not great. um, is overacting to the 11th power.
I'll give it a pass, just because I mean, if you're seeing the person you're in love with like getting ready to just absolutely sacrifice yourself themselves, like you're going to be freaking out. Like you're probably
Well,
going to be
I
like,
don't doubt
but
that, but
but yeah,
there's
I get it. I get it.
but otherwise, really good scene. A real fu to uh, the military.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, great scene. Obviously, after this, we get a
Uh.
flash forward.
Well, before that, I just got to say. So, did the military just say, "All right, well, well, we'll leave"? Like, was there just no repercussions? Like, they did kill soldiers. Like, they
Yeah,
like
true.
they just like, oh well, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys. So much for
Yeah,
that.
well,
Like,
there's a lot of like convenient stuff that happens through this. That's I did think about that, but I was like, whatever. I it's not of the things that I was annoyed about. Like that was just I was like, okay, sure. I'm not gonna hate it too much, but you know. But yeah, 18 month flash forward uh, into the future. Um, we get we get the graduation, which is really great. Dustin doing the commencement speech.
He does exactly what Eddie wanted to do. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Hmm.
And then also Hopper has to convince Mike to go. They have that good, really good heart to heart moment about Elle, and having to get over basically. You can't, you know, you can't be thinking about it forever, or you can be thinking about it, but you can't be dwelling on it
Yeah.
forever. You gotta be able to move on, because that's what she would want to
Mhm.
have wanted. Uh, so yes, we
Yeah,
get that good
a
moment.
lot of growth from Hopper there, which was a
Yeah.
really a really awesome moment, I'd say.
Uh, and he eventually does go to the commit or to the graduation. We have the Dustin moment, and then well, actually, I almost skipped right to the basement scene, but we had the roof scene, which is probably one of my favorites of the ending here, between Robin, Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan. And them all talking about what they're doing currently, what's the future hold. I thought it was very relatable as far as like this how scary it is the future is, but also just like not knowing really what you want to do,
Yeah.
the uncertainty.
It had a real, just pure coming of age. Uh, I'd say like not like almost like '90s show vibe,
Yeah,
it had like a vibe of like Friends or like any of those like romantic teen dramas from like the late '90s or early 2000s. I
definitely not like Friends, but yes, I know what you
well,
mean.
I mean, like, okay, maybe not like the show Friends, but like it gave me vibes of like the intro to Friends, where just like all the friends were just hanging
um,
out, like that vibe. I guess that I
yeah,
should have elaborated on that.
like a One Tree Hill season 4. If you know, you know. Everybody's playing basketball for one last time before they go off to college. Yeah, just the uncertainty and just it's something every person in that's been through that can relate to. Um,
I almost got choked up seeing Steve as a baseball coach, and he's coaching like some of the kids he saved, like Derek,
yeah,
who by the way he was the one who got Derek out of that pod, and Derek just like immediately embraced him. I'm like, Steve,
yeah, that was funny.
you're just a mother to the kids of Hawkins. That's what you are,
Well,
man.
Derek also had that moment with Mike when
Yeah,
the
well, he did say that Mike was his best friend,
true,
so I
true.
feel like people forgot that. And just that,
That is
like,
true.
that was a beautiful moment. I can't lie.
But then we have the basement uh, D&D moment. I thought this was another great
Hmm.
moment um, between Max, Lucas, Mike, Dustin, and Will. I really like the original core outside of L. I guess Max isn't technically the original core, but I count her as the original core.
Yeah, adopted into it. Damn it.
That group wasn't
By the way, I
whole.
love that she's been converted to a D&D.
Yes.
Like
No,
that's just
I love how
oh
passionate she was.
that is perfect.
That's why I think she's the
Yeah.
best character. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's definitely not a hot take. I don't think so.
No, I would not call that a hot take at
Yeah,
all.
I just think she's been written the best. I just think her character is the most enjoyable. I think Sadie Sink to me, never really just throws in a dud. I feel like her character is always on point. unlike you know some others at portions of this show. But hey, in the last episode, everybody delivered, so that was
Yes,
what mattered.
absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, I love that moment, and then Will kind of like talking about each of their lives or what's going to come from each of their
Or
lives.
Mike, you mean?
Or I'm sorry, Mike. Yes, I'm sorry. What's to come for each of their lives, and I thought that was really beautiful. And then also him giving what he thought happened to Elle, but also putting us in a situation as a viewer. Is that is that what he thinks, or is that what actually happened? My theory is that it actually happened because they show Elle. I don't know if the Duffer Brothers have said otherwise since then.
They have said that it's up to the viewer, really.
I don't like
Which
that.
either, I
We'll
think
get
either
into it.
way, if you're expecting a spin-off with L, don't.
No,
It's
hell no.
definitely
Not I
not.
shouldn't say hell no. It's not that I wouldn't want it, but no. Millie Bobby Brown, in my opinion, has big things probably on the horizon. I would
Sure.
assume, and Stranger Things is not a part of that. And that's I don't. I think she. I'm sure she loved her time on there. She's obviously. I know she's from all the interviews. She's really good friends with who plays Will again.
Oh, Noah Schnapp.
Noah
Yeah,
Schnapp.
oh yeah, they're like
They're super
working
close.
from
So
a pod.
like obviously she has a lot of good relationships and got a lot of great relationships from that. But people move on. I did not love the 11 send off. I'm just going to be honest. I really didn't love it when we didn't know that she was alive at all or the possibility of her being alive. Because to me, her character, even more than Max, went through so much shit, so much after season of being just freaking worked on by these crazy scientists, like freaking looked at as like a science project or a science experiment, I should say, and just all the crap that she went through when she was in school with that freaking nasty bully, just so much stuff, and for her, like in that moment, for as what we thought her character to die in that way, even though she was doing it for her friends, I just felt like her character deserved so much more.
Yeah,
And even what we got, where we think she might be alive, I still think her character deserves so much more. Her character deserves to be with the people that she loves and that love her. I don't know.
like the one thing I'll say is that like I mean it's not wrong. Like the military's just never going to stop looking. It's like
True.
I do wish there was I like just because it's like just 11 just hurts so much. It's like I want to see her get a like more of a win. Like I mean that's like it's a win, but it's not the win you're looking for. Like it's like I wish if we knew like Mike could have occasionally visit her, or like even Hopper could occasionally visit her, like it would be a lot more palatable. But at the same time, would we be pushing it? And
Yeah. I will say, as we're starting to wrap up, never say never when it comes to one day, way down the road. I'm talking 30 years from now that we won't get one more Stranger Things season. Because I've seen it with so many shows come back. I'm just saying this for people that are hardcore fans and they feel like there's more stories to tell. Never say never. Not going to be anytime soon, not even in the near future. But like hell, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is coming back. Like anything is possible. I wouldn't be shocked if these actors down the road where they're not, in as much stuff maybe, and it calls for it. It's a
maybe
possibility.
Netflix is desperate enough to where we don't have another show to
Yeah,
help us get into back to our peak. Stranger Things, we need you guys one last time. Like who knows?
because could you think of the impact if like it's like 30 years from now? Okay, we're gonna be old. Um, and it starts off and like you have Elle. eventually making her way back, and you have that moment where she's back on the screen with everybody. I mean, that moment would be like would just kill. I mean,
Oh yeah,
like it would be crazy. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, if this does happen, it ain't happening anytime soon. So,
yeah. Uh, I
and I
do want.
wouldn't want it to because I want to see these actors do other stuff. I know
Yeah.
Sadie Sink has a bright future.
Hmm.
I think she's awesome. I think Millie Bobby Brown or whatever her name is
Body
now,
Bon Jovi, yeah, whatever
yeah.
you want to call her these days.
um, I she has a bright future as well as a bunch of other these actors also have bright futures. Uh, so yeah. What would you anything else that we might have missed? And if not, you can give your closing statements.
I do want to discuss like the ending one more time. Where they're where the kids are putting their D&D binders up
Yeah.
on the shelf.
Oh, good point.
All the like seeing them like very emotional. A lot of people are saying like it's them like putting their childhood away almost. Which I mean like the way I saw like
Oh,
just the emotion on their faces, I'm like that's not Max, Lucas, Dustin,
yeah.
Will, and Mike. That's Sadie Sink. That's Caleb
Well, I
McLaughlin.
wondered if that was the last thing they
That
filmed.
it was the last thing they filmed. They
Oh,
did
well, okay,
confirm
then
that.
yeah, it 100%
Like
was then. Okay.
that was the actor's like pure authentic emotion of the moment. I've heard like there was a scene where like they cut and they were just like steady, just like nods. They said like, "Hey, let's just see how long we could just hug and cry together before they tell us to get off." And they were like embracing for like minutes upon minutes, just like soaking it all in. But I gotta say I really liked I guess you'd call it the passing of the torch moment. Where
Yeah.
Mike's the last one going up, and then you see Holly, Derek, and some of the other kids running down, getting ready to play D&D themselves. Some people noted that the last line we heard was "Girls don't fart if they did smell like roses." I'm like, okay,
Yes,
that's
that
an
was
interesting
funny.
final line, but
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that.
that's they're kids. So, but I really love that like fade away as the door closed. Like
Yeah.
I thought that ending was phenomenal.
A lot of the ending stuff was really
Yeah,
good.
like I like honestly I would definitely say I love the epilogue more than I did the rest of the finale.
That's fair.
But
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and I love the arts of the art of the credits. That was pretty cool too.
I skipped through most of that, but it's
Yeah,
because it's just not my
yeah.
it's not my thing, I guess. But it was cool, I guess. But uh, oh, I did want to give a
I
shout
only
out.
stuck around because I was wondering if they were gonna give us like a credit scene like bit,
Oh
but
yeah, well no, I skipped through it to see that.
yeah, I didn't skip just because I didn't want to like accidentally skip over it, but
Gotcha. I did want to say "Landslide" by Fleetwood Mac, awesome choice, and also "Purple Rain" by Prince. I mean, there's some good
oh
music
yeah,
stuff. I also had the Tunnel song earlier in the episode.
Heroes was played in
Here's
the
yeah,
credits.
um, yeah, a lot of good soundtrack choices. Definitely enjoyed that. But yeah, your closing statement.
Um, I thought they ended it, or like you could argue there probably wouldn't have been a better ending. Maybe there could have been, but I thought they did a phenomenal job with the finale, despite this season being rushed and messy at times. They you can't deny they stayed true to themselves, and like there is something admirable to that. Where season 5 would rank amongst the other seasons, I'd probably say somewhere in the middle, maybe even the lower half. But I thought I still give it a tip of the cap. Awesome series to finish it off. Don't have any major complaints to where I would be like throwing a fit or anything like that. But ultimately, I'm satisfied with with the conclusion of Stranger Things.
We've mentioned before. Austin's more so loves the show. I like it. There's a lot of characters that I actually love, but like as a whole, I don't love the show because I tend to find more issues with it than not. This is probably one of my least favorite seasons, if I'm going to be honest. I thought it was a lot messier than any of the other seasons. I would probably say it is my least favorite if I'm really thinking about it. My favorite season four, this is going to be
I'd agree with
unpopular.
season 4 being at least season 4 was the best season, I would say.
Yeah, well, what's unpopular about what I'm about to say is my second favorite is season two, which I know is not a popular thing to say. Um, but then probably season one, and then maybe three, then five. I There is so this movie. Well, you could see it in movie theaters.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of great moments, especially in this last episode. I thought it was a good send off for the characters. I thought it did a good job in that way. Uh, I I think at the end of the day, it went safe, but I'm sure it made predominantly a lot of people happy. I'm sure not everybody. I'm sure there was definitely some naysayers or maybe some people that were more on my side as far as like they enjoyed it, but it definitely was safe and kind of messy. But I thought for the most part, outside of Elle, I liked the send off for a lot of the characters. I didn't hate the send off for Elle. I just not it's not really what I was envisioning, and I just felt like the character deserved more. You could argue her going off on her own gives her a chance that she never got before, which I can maybe
Start,
get
yeah.
that. But in that case, I feel like you should make it known that she's still alive. It should not be up for debate because if it's up for debate, then that means there's a chance that she's actually dead, and then that part I don't like because I think it totally goes against the whole point of her character. But besides that, I
I
liked
I I I choose to believe she is alive.
same.
Just because like like they had all those like because like one of the points they go to show was at the end of the graduation when like the speaker was having the feedback. Mike was kind of like at first I thought maybe he was just having PTSD from like those like things they use to uh
Yeah,
like weaken L and Callie, but the thing is they were blurring those things like when she was standing there in the portal, like it would have still affected her and she just stood there, which makes you think, okay, maybe that was Callie's illusion doing that. Or like the illusion trick. And maybe like I guess the only question is like how did she end up like escaping beforehand?
yeah.
Which again maybe that I guess maybe that was Callie's work too, and like she went through like that like Circuit City tunnel and then made her escape that way. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
I'm
anyways,
to believe she escaped.
yeah, I would like to too. Also, but besides that, I enjoyed myself overall. I like the show as a whole. There's a bunch of the characters I really enjoy. Max, Elle, Dustin, Steve. There's some characters I still think are. I love Hopper too and Joyce, but there's still some characters I feel like even though they got some just doing this season, for the most part, were not written the best in other seasons. So I don't know that this all of a sudden makes up for it. Uh, them being Mike and Will. Uh, I This is the best Will's character's been, but does that make up for how mistreated that character was through four seasons? I don't know that. Um, but with that being said, I think this show was a lot of fun. A lot of callbacks to 80s horror, especially in season four, that I really enjoyed. I think that's why season four is my favorite. And all in all, I think solid wrap up, messy ride, but you know what? At least it wasn't bad. At least it didn't. I don't know that. I don't know this season pissed anybody off to the point where they're like, "Oh, the show's ruined." It's not like a Game of Thrones situation. Granted, I don't think the last season of Game of Thrones ruined Game of Thrones. It just, yeah, the last season of Game of Thrones was another story for another day, as everybody knows. Uh, But I also love Game of Thrones, so I took that to heart more than I took this show to heart. The L stuff, like even though I wanted it to be a certain way, it wasn't that it didn't hurt me affect me that much because not one of my all time favorite shows, but I do enjoy it. I had a fun ride. I'm glad I went back to watching it again. It was cool. It's cool to see the people that love this show because they definitely have a real connection to it, which is super dope. So yeah, hopefully these characters continue to live on. The show will continue to live on, and the impact that it's made. Um, but yeah, guys, that is our season finale, last season of it's episode 8, last season of Stranger Things, last episode. Spoiler review. That's a long ass title that I just said there, but you get the point. It was fun having Austin on. Austin, real quick, top 3 characters. Let the people know.
Top three characters. All right, number one, I'm gonna go Dustin. Number one for me. Number two, Max. Number three, screw it, I'm going Eddie. I loved Eddie.
I like that. For me, it would be Max, L, and Steve.
Yeah,
Combination of
I
either
could.
Steve or maybe Dustin or Hopper.
That's a really good
It
top
was like
three.
a three-way tie almost.
Yeah,
Hopper might be a third. I don't know. It depends on the episode, I guess. But Max and Al are my those two are set in stone. Uh, all right, guys, that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna hand it off to Austin real quick so he can plug his stuff, and I'm gonna have all his channels in the description. Go ahead, Austin.
yeah. If you want to see me just being me, check me out, the Pef on YouTube or at I underscore am underscore the underscore Pef on TikTok and Instagram. You can check me out there as well. And if you're big football fans, Break the Tackle here on YouTube as well as TikTok and Instagram. Trying to get to 500 subscribers by the Super Bowl. Let's make it happen, guys. Start subscribing, start watching, start tuning in, start commenting, all the other stuff. Thank you all, and have a good night, and stay right side up.
Yeah, guys, that was fun. There's gonna be other TV shows we'll be doing in the future. I don't know about if Austin will be on board for them, but who knows? But I know there's a Buffy Vampire Slayer show coming out sometime next year. That we'll be doing that. I definitely will be doing more TV because I have House of the Dragon coming back. Um, you have Euphoria. That's one of the biggest shows of next year. Maybe I'll get Austin to binge watch Euphoria.
We'll see. We'll
You
see.
never know. Um, Austin might be joining us for the Scream ranking. I don't know. We'll see. That's also up in the air. Um, but that we got a lot in January coming up. Uh, Sam Raimi's new movie. We got so yeah. So next week we got Primate. That was that. That's the Killer Monkey movie. I am my interest is peaked. The trailers have looked okay. I think I've heard decent things, but we'll see how that does. And obviously, we got 28 years later. The Bone Temple coming out in like 2 weeks. It's literally I have to see that a day before I go to the Poconos. Uh, funny enough. So that's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of stuff coming up and a lot of fun. Make sure you check out my top 10 movies of last year. And my top 5 most disappointing movies of last year. Those videos were a lot of fun. And yeah, guys, as always, I'll see you next time.